why you have to think before you can be. And what I mean by that is you have to be the person you want to be. You have to be the thing you want to do in your brain, in your own world, in your mind, before you can actually do it out in the real world. Because if you don't do it in your inner world, or the world within, then it won't happen in the world without. And the world without is the outside world. This is the outside world. This is the world within. There's two worlds. There's the world within and there's the world without. And whatever's the world within, whatever you think from the world within, is the results of the world without. The actions of the world within is the results of the world without. With that being said, you can't be something if you never thought of it. How can you be a YouTuber? How can you have a good body if you never actually thought of it? You thought about it just hearing one, but you don't actually think of actually doing it or actually achieving it. You don't think to yourself like, hey, if I go to the gym, shit, I can actually achieve this. I can actually do this. I just have to do it. That's another thing. But first, mentally, you first have to do it. Mentally, you have to achieve it first before you can actually achieve it. And a man who says they can and a man who says they cannot are usually both right, because a person who's already going into some situation saying that they can do something is going to do something because they already achieved it in their brain. They already achieved it mentally. They already achieved a mental task of it. But the person who says they cannot, they didn't achieve the mental task of it. They already failed mentally at it. So why would they be able to do it in the physical world? Why would they be able to? Because they failed in the mental world to achieve it. So obviously you won't be able to do it in the physical world, even though the mental world is far more important than the physical world, in my opinion, because what your mental world is going to be the result of the physical world. I said that in the beginning. The world within is the world without. I know I'm talking fast, but keep up with me. So it's just what you think and what you say is what's actually going to happen. And then my next thing is you have to think you're the best at it before you can actually be the best at it. So you can't just go into a situation and be like, oh, I'm just going to do it, Yeah, do it for fun still. Make sure you're still doing something for fun. Make sure your emotions do not consume you. And you get mad and be like, no, I'm doing this for fun. You're supposed to have a good time with it. Don't ruin things. Don't ruin sports. Don't ruin activities, hobbies, and everything like that because you're letting your emotions get involved. Get upset because you didn't do it. Get upset because, because you didn't do the things that you should have done. But don't get upset because how it's going. Still play the game for fun. That's what I'm saying. But you have to think you're the best at something before you can actually be the best at it. You have to you have to be number one in your brain before you can actually be number one. This ties in with everything that I've been saying, the law of attraction. Before you can actually be number one at something, you have to be number one in your brain. You have to think that you were on standing on the podium. You did have the best body. You do have the best YouTube channel. You're the best at football. You're the best in your class. The smartest in your class. You have to actually think that you actually are that for you to actually achieve that. Because if you think you're mediocre, you're just going to be mediocre. If you think you're average, you're just going to be average. If you think you're above average, you're going to be above average. If you think you're creative, you're going to think you're creative. So it's all about your mindset and how you think about things.